Well, good morning and welcome to Bellevue, Washington, where I'm sitting in a Panera. Hey, Mike.
And welcome from Bremerton, Washington, where I'm sitting in my office where it's cold.
Yeah, I did not plan to be in a Panera for this. There's a cool little local coffee shop, but they said I couldn't be there and do this because they only allow you to sit and work for 20 minutes. Haven't encountered that before, but
Hmm.
that's not what people are here for. It's been a while since we've done this, Mike.
It has. I actually checked, and the last time we did this was September 8th. So I guess it was all the awareness training in October and the fact that it's conference season. We've been going to a few conferences, which, I appreciate going back to 3D conferences.
I
It's,
do too. Oh, seeing people
yeah,
pranking you at a conference, I like that's all. It's been great. And by the
yeah.
way, we did speaking. I mean, we just went from in person to not in person, but some really good digital conference we did yesterday. A panel about CMMC, which
That's
is
right.
a cybersecurity model for people who do business with the Department of Defense. We have a staff member, Dustin, who is fantastic, and he is one of the first people in the country to
Hmm.
have taken the beta exam about CMMC, and he passed it. Passed it. Somebody pointed out to me I should say he passed it when he took an exam.
Yeah, I took it.
Um, so there's that. But yeah, we had a bunch of defense contractors attending, and we're doing free security awareness training tomorrow at noon. You can
Hmm.
sign up for it on our website. Go to criticalinsight.com, click on events. Also, you can go to our YouTube page, which might be where you're watching this, and you can watch the CMMC panel from yesterday as well.
Hmm. And today is November 10th. So before I forget, happy birthday, United States Marine Corps, and happy Veterans Day tomorrow. And also, it looks like we got through an election without technology being hacked. So that's good.
Mike, how do you know we didn't get hacked? I mean, it would be apparent by now.
Well, I said technology didn't get hacked. And I know that because I have the indicators from the Election Security ISAC, right? Information Sharing and Analysis Center.
Hmm.
And I know there was a lot of probing and scanning and some denial of service attempts. And I think actually Mississippi's Secretary of State website actually did get smacked pretty hard with a
Oh, I didn't see
denial of
that.
service. Yeah. But none of that hits voting technology in any way. In fact, we took those indicators and we ran them through Pisces and found out, sure enough, we see the signs of that probing right here. So this was broad. It was also ineffective. People's minds, on the other hand, are very hackable, and the disinformation was rampant. It still is. But I'd say, based on results, we fended that off pretty well too.
That's good. That's
Mhm.
good. It's nice to fend things off. Um, I did see all of those blast articles about the warnings about Russian disinformation operations. The one this morning about politically motivated hacktivist activity.
Mhm.
You predicted that would be increasing.
Yep. And that was a real easy prediction to make. There are lots of people with skills that are disaffected in one way or another,
Hmm.
and you can use the affiliate and as a service models to keep your fingerprints off the whole thing, right? So, all right, the election is over. What do you want to talk about?
You don't want to just talk about politics, politics, politics. No.
No,
So
I want to stop getting all the email from, everybody that wants political contributions.
Mike, it's been 20 seconds since I last emailed you for a contribution.
Yeah,
Mike,
exactly.
Mike. Um, that reminds me, since we last spoke, there have been a lot of events. Some are significant. It's been a while since we've done this. What's jumped out to you in the blast from the
Just,
last six
yeah.
weeks? Yeah.
Well, we can't go
What are
back
the
six
Mike? Yeah,
weeks.
what are the
It's
biggest stories? What are the biggest stories,
All
Mike?
right, all right, all right. So this is a big story. Metabank in Australia, all right, is a combination of health and fintech, right? And we've seen that happen here. It's the one-stop shop for records and financial information, all that stuff. They got hit with ransomware, millions of patient records stolen. Metabank is not going to pay. So the perps are starting to make records public, and they're doing it first with people's health records that involve treatment for addiction and other things that are embarrassing. So, I mean, there's nasty people, just nasty people. Did you freeze on me? No.
Ugh. And you're in an article this morning talking about the Oh, can you hear me? No?
Yeah.
Panera Wi-Fi? No, wait, I'm on my phone's Wi-Fi. That's good. Mike, you're in an article this morning talking. Can you hear me? Talking about the
Yeah.
proposal to mark health data with the equivalent of the digital Red Cross to keep bad guys away.
hmm
I heard you're not a fan of that idea. Sounds like a bad idea.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious in how they quoted me, but it is a ridiculous suggestion. Okay, there is reciprocity of recognition of the Red Cross on the battlefield. Both sides know not to shoot. There is no such reciprocity between criminals and victims. And criminal gangs target the health sector very intentionally because of their criticality. They're likely to pay. So no, a digital Red Cross isn't going to stop anyone. It's a dumb suggestion.
You're not a fan.
No.
You like
Moving on.
Mike rarely calls things dumb. No, Mike calls things dumb a lot. Keep going, Mike.
Well, okay. This is scary. China is thought to be stockpiling zero-day vulnerabilities. They have a policy of not making these public when they're discovered, and they have to be turned over to the Chinese government. And what has been measured has been a decrease in the number of vulnerabilities reported by China and an increase in those that have been reported anonymously. So something's up there, right? And lots of feds have come out and said that, yes, Russia is a real thorn, but we need to keep focus on China. Remember, they're very likely the ones that own the data stolen from the Office of Personnel Management and Equifax. And a lot of disruption can be accomplished with information like that.
Yeah, and speaking of the global cyber attacks, uh, being conducted by other countries, what about that court case involving Mondelez? Is that how you say it?
Mondelez.
Mondelez?
Yeah.
Ooh, see, there. I don't know any French. I can do Italian. Good Italian. That's a European retailer that was caught up in the NotPetya attack.
Yeah.
Didn't they finally get resolved as to whether their insurance would pay out? I mean, that's been going on a while.
It has. I mean, like since what did I have in 2018 or something like that? It did get resolved, but we're never going to know what the settlement was. And that's a very big deal because this narrative of insurance won't pay if it's a nation state act has everyone nervous. What they determined was, and it was like the other recent settlement, and I can't remember exactly, was it Primera, somebody like that. If you're collateral damage and not the focus of the attack, you will be covered. So that's good.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm here in Bellevue to meet with an insurance broker, so that's always a topic of conversation. The brokers get caught in the middle there; they're not the carriers, and
right.
It's not fun for anybody. And hey, I almost forgot. Since the last time we spoke, you did something really cool, and we have not been able to talk about it here, which is you met with the director of CISA about cyber education.
Oh yeah. So, oh yeah.
Okay. Was that a good meeting, Mike? Was that a good meeting?
So, well,
you loved it.
Yeah, I did. So, and by the way, that's a nice pivot to something I want to talk about anyway. So it was more that I facilitated a roundtable with representatives of the Centers of Academic Excellence in Washington State and some from Oregon. How do we engage the younglings early on and get them in the right education and experience for the roles we need? Because how we're doing it now isn't working so well. So it was a great day up at Amazon headquarters with Director Easterly and Stephen Schmidt, the Amazon CSO, who's a very cool guy. Now here comes the pivot. There have been an increasing number of stories on how people in cyber leadership positions are considering punching out, that practitioners are getting burned out from constantly losing the battle, and how concern for their mental health is rising. And in fact, they're saying that the people that write these articles, say that cyber practitioners are even worse shape than frontline health workers. So to add to the lack of qualified staff, the staff that we have is pretty beaten up. And that puts extra focus on the need to educate and provide experience to people now.
Well, I teed you up for a really nice talk there about your meeting with Jen Easterly, and you went all scary and not happy.
Okay, all right. So I got a great selfie with the director. I got a Rubik's Cube.
You had a great day.
I
Yeah.
had a great day. Yes, it
Uh-huh,
was cool.
uh-huh. And hey, but I did one other thing I want to talk about. I saw that piece on Pisces in the Journal of Domestic Preparedness,
Hmm.
not a magazine that everybody picks up,
Yeah.
but a nice piece.
Yeah. So yes, we are working with several states to be part of their all of state cybersecurity strategy. Okay. So remember, there's the state and local cybersecurity grant program coming up, and the planning is going on for that right now. So if we push Pisces out to all the small local governments and monitor their networks and use that live data as curriculum for colleges and universities, what we do is tick off several of the required outcomes of that grant. So that's
Great.
landing really well in Kentucky, who's turning out to be a fantastic partner, Colorado, and hopefully Washington State, which
That's
turns
great.
out to be difficult for us to break through to state government level. Washington State, I don't know why. We've also spoken with Montana, South Carolina, Maryland, New Mexico, Michigan, and others.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Hmm.
that's where it's getting big.
Yeah, and that reminds me, Washington State named a new CISO.
That's right.
Uh,
It's Ralph
yep,
Johnson, who
yep,
was my counterpart at King County when I was at the city of Seattle.
yep, yep. Good dude. So, by the way, back to Director Easterly. She really likes the Pisces model. You told me that, so it must be true.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's getting a anyway. So yeah. All right, so we're almost out of time here, and I'm on the east side. I'm in Bellevue. I can see Microsoft from here. So as we talk about T's and D's, there's a big Microsoft bundle that just got pushed literally from right over there to
Yep.
everybody in the world.
Well, it went through some routers.
No, it's actually there's a right across the street from this Panera is a Domino's, and right past there is all of Microsoft.
So they just walk over the patches.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Well, in that patch bundle, there is 4 or 5, I think, critical vulnerabilities that are under active attack, including the Exchange proxy shell problem. So get your computers rebooted after you take on those patches and do it soon. Also, your weekly notification that Chrome needs to be updated. Um, there's a VMware product called Workspace One Assist, I think, and that has a CVSS score of like 9.8.
That's
So
bad.
hey, yeah, that's bad. Under active attack, needs to be patched now. Android needs an update, and I think Firefox does too. There is a banking Trojan rigged app that's been downloaded more than 100,000 times from the Google Play Store. So a lot of people are going to lose their money. And this trend of booby trapping a legitimate app that installs malware in the background is becoming very pervasive. Um, Also, disturbingly, there's a wiper that's showing up all over the place. The Azov ransomware doesn't give you the network back. And in fact, it corrupts data by writing chunks of 666 bytes, which tells you about the motivation of the individual behind this.
Hmm.
Um, FBI is warning about Iranians targeting hospitals with wipers and conducting retaliatory attacks. So I think we're moving into a bit of a new space with disruption for the sake of disruption.
But Mike, if you just put a red cross on it, the Iranians won't attack.
I don't think so. I don't think that's right.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
Yeah. All right. Hey, so this is the point at which you have a kicker. The point at which you make everybody smile. The last story here. You got to come up with something, especially because I was forced to eat a bagel from Panera, and it's just not a great bagel. Make me
Uh,
smile.
you're saying that in Panera and being recorded doing it. That's impressive.
Yeah, but I'm showing their $8.99 for something over that shoulder over there. So it's
Okay.
like plus and minus for Panera here.
Okay. All right. Well, it's free advertising, good or bad.
Bad bagels, but they're cheap.
Yeah. Okay. So something to make us smile, we have to make us cyber smile, do we not? So, God, I can't believe I said that. Did you read that the feds recovered $1 billion in stolen Bitcoin money? Okay.
No.
Yes. And so this, like the DOJ has been just going to town, apprehending and prosecuting criminals like crazy. It's one of the things the federal government has done that is really helping to move the needle, right? It's not all on us anymore. They're actually in the fight. Okay, so
Huh.
so when the DOJ searched this Chinese national, his house, they found the Bitcoin stash in an underground floor safe and on a single board computer that was submerged under blankets in a popcorn tin stored in a bathroom closet. Found all this whenever. So wow, really took pains to hide that stuff. They found it anyway. I think the best part of the story is the extent to which this dude went to hide all this stuff in a popcorn tin in a closet under
Wow.
blankets. And the feds rooted all of this out.
Somebody told him to keep it safe in styrofoam popcorn, but he just heard popcorn.
Just pop, yeah.
So, just popcorn. Yep.
Just real popcorn.
All right. Well, I don't know that
Best,
made me laugh.
best I can do.
After 6 weeks,
It's been
you
a
gotta do
while. I'm
better.
not back in the routine.
Okay. All right.
Plus, there's
we'll,
just not that funny of stuff happening. It's all kind of sad and alarming.
It is. It is. It is. And importantly, just so everybody knows, Mike and I went to a conference where after we spoke, they said, "Oh, he's the scary guy." So there you go. Yeah. So I remade Mike's business cards.
Yeah. Yeah. When
All
I'm
right.
on my game, I'm scary, I guess.
It's because you said cyber smile. All right.
All right.
Have a great day, everybody. Bye bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.